Mark chapter 12, we learn about paying taxes to Caesar, the greatest commandment, which is love the Lord and love others, and religious hypocrisy. Jesus condemns the people who made sure they were seen praying and putting a lot of money into the temple offering, but who also robbed widows of their land when nobody was looking. In contrast, Mark records the story often called the widow's mite. Let's read Mark 12, 41 through 44. Jesus sat down opposite the place where the offerings were put and watched the crowd putting their money into the temple treasury. Many rich people threw in large amounts, but a poor widow came and put in 2 very small copper coins, worth only a few cents. Calling his disciples to him, Jesus said, "Truly I tell you, this poor widow has put more into the treasury than all the others. They all gave out of their wealth, but she, out of her poverty, put in everything, all she had to live on." When Jesus says, "Truly I tell you," or "I tell you the truth," it doesn't mean Jesus was lying before. It means pay attention. This is something important. I don't want you to miss this. Mark's readers knew that. Jesus uses the widow's actions as an example for the disciples and us to follow. She gave everything she had to live on. It was self-sacrificing. It was a free will offering, not the temple tax that was required. She went above and beyond. She did it quietly, not wanting anyone to see her. Jesus said what she gave was more valuable than everything the others gave because she held nothing back. As David Smith explains in his commentary on Mark, Jesus called all those who follow him to abandon the human way of bestowing honor and adopt kingdom principles. The first will be last and the last will be first. Do not reject the value system of God in the scripture. God's economy is not the same as the world's economy. We're supposed to give what we can. The amount or worth in the world's eyes doesn't matter to God. It's the heart behind what we give that matters. One way that even small acts can add up to a big difference is in how we care for the earth. We've heard that the earth is the Lord's because he created it. Everything in the world belongs to God and holds together because of him. He gave us responsibility to take care of everything he created, including the earth. It's our job. When we don't do our job, people suffer. God gives clear direction on how to take care of the earth and people too. Let's read Leviticus 19, 9 through 10. When you reap the harvest of your land, do not reap to the very edges of your field or gather the gleanings of your harvest. Do not go over your vineyard a second time or pick up the grapes that have fallen. Leave them for the poor and the foreigner. I am the Lord your God. Gleaning means to collect the leftover grain or produce after a harvest. Here, God is commanding his people not to glean. In other words, once they picked everything from the harvest, they were not supposed to go back and pick anything that they missed or pick up anything that they dropped. They were supposed to leave what was left for the poor. This is an aspect of good stewardship because it allows the resources to be spread around. Instead of being greedy and making sure every last drop is accounted for, so to speak, people shouldn't worry about gathering everything for personal financial gain. This way, even the poor have their needs cared for from the resources that the land provides. God made a way for the poor to be cared for, not only on a temporary basis, but on a larger scale too. We will see once again that care for the poor is connected to care for the creation through God's plan of the year of Jubilee. Let's read Leviticus 25, 23 through 24. The land must not be sold permanently, because the land is mine, and you reside in my land as foreigners and strangers. Throughout the land that you hold as a possession, you must provide for the redemption of the land. Once every 50 years, God intended that Israel returned all land to its original owners, cancel all debts, and free all the slaves. God was trying to instill in the people the principle that he was the owner of the land, and they were only given use of it. The purchaser of the property was buying the harvest and not the land itself. It wasn't theirs to buy or sell. If you had to sell yourself into slavery to get out of debt, you and your children would eventually get a new start. The same with debt. Eventually, you would be free. God's plan is one of freedom. He wants freedom for his people from debt and slavery. He wants freedom for his land from misuse and lack of care. And ultimately, he wants all creation to experience freedom from sin and brokenness through his plan of redemption in Jesus.